Hey everybody, I just wanted to do a few videos as we're moving into our new workshop and show you everything that we're up to. So things are still pretty chaotic here as we're just getting really moved in and we're trying to get some jobs out at the same time. So we don't have a lot of time to unpack and organize. We sort of have to do it as we can and as we go along. But the idea is pretty much every week, which we'll try to upload these roughly weekly, you'll see some improvement and also get a chance to see some of the cool things that we're working on. So for this week, I just want to flip the camera around and give you a quick tour of the workshop. Now, these are not going to be high production quality videos. I'm not going to do any editing. I'm just going to record them and then upload them straight to YouTube. Okay, so let's flip the camera around and see what the shop looks like. So here we're standing in sort of the middle of the shop. This is roughly a 40 by 60 foot building. And as I promised, you see lots of chaos. So looking down that way is looking towards one of the streets. Across to our right, there's an automotive shop. Then we've got lots of space over here. Been working on getting some storage going. That's all things that have not been unpacked. Unfortunately, when the moving company moved us, we had quite a bit of mixing of the house and the shop goods. So there's been quite a process to get that sorted out. But the idea is that area back there is going to be a welding area. Then we've got another door that goes out into our lot. We have a bathroom there. Over here we have a small office that I'm using. You can see we've got a workstation for CAD and programming, some bookshelves, nothing too fancy. And then we have another room here. I'm calling it the cleaner room. And if we go in there, this is where all of the electronics, 3D printing, and so on are. So you can see my server rack back in the corner and the environmental chamber. Pick and place machine, solder reflow oven, 3D printer, and then a solder workbench here. Test bench. The server setup is quite a bit different than when we were back in my basement. So we're on a static IP here, and I went with Ubiquiti. And I'll probably do another video at some point on Ubiquiti. So we've got the security gateway at the top, a patch panel, and then the switch. We've got our Synology, a rack server, and then a little Pi on top. The Pi is currently running my inventory system. I'm probably going to be switching it over to that rack server. And then back here on the side of the rack, we've got a nice big service loop from all of the cables that are coming in from the rest of the building. Going out the other end of that room, we've got a large compressor that I was able to find. It's a university surplus that was on Craigslist. So that should be plenty. It's 200 gallon, 10 horse, 3-phase. So I do have 3-phase power here, but unfortunately it's the older Delta configuration, so I have a wild leg, not the Y configuration with 208, so that makes things a little trickier. We did just get a forklift with a man basket, so we can get up and finish putting in our air lines and service things on the building. It should be a pretty good lift. It runs great, but I've got a really leaky second stage lift cylinder here. I know it's hard to see, but as soon as we start lifting, oil just pours out of the top there. So we're going to try to get that fixed, and luckily there's a garage across the street that has an experienced hydraulics man at it. The mill is up and running finally. You can see we're not in very good shape. The monitor is just kind of laying there. But we are making some parts, in fact making parts today. Had some trouble after the move. I had a Z motor that was going out and had to replace that, which took a while. Also, getting the enclosure on this took forever. Probably about 2 days worth of work, maybe 1.5 days. But it certainly makes it a lot quieter and keeps the rest of the shop a lot cleaner. The laser's buried up over here right now, but I have had it running since we got here. And sort of the last thing, oh yeah, we had to buy a lawnmower because we've got some grass out front, is going out this side door. So this lot is included with the building. So you can see it's a pretty large lot. I could probably put a neighborhood of a 60 by 100 building on it. It'd be tight. It's all fenced in, and it's got some pipe racks here from when the gas company was renting this. So this building was built and never used by the builders, but immediately rented by a gas company, and they rented it for about 14 years until I bought it. We've got some other fun problems to tackle. Things like this back door was added after the slab was poured. So as you can see by the quick dams that I have up, I've got a water ingress problem that I need to have the concrete cut out and a slope repoured. This is also where my 220 is. So I've got some equipment, some heater controllers that I've been testing that are 220 as well. So that's sort of a real quick overview of where things are. This had just a heater up there in the corner and a window air conditioner unit in each of the two rooms, but nothing out here in the main part. So I ended up having an air conditioner put in up there. I wasn't really planning on spending that money right now, but it was impossible to work out here past about 10:30 in the morning. You were just pouring sweat into everything that you were working on, not necessarily good with the kind of things that we do here. Of course, we've got security cameras all around. That's part of what was going into my network rack in there. We had to get some power drops put in. I put outside lights on the building. We ran a lot of this blue airline. This is the Rapid Air kit. So we've got a loop all the way around the top of the building with drops all around as well, including in the electronics room there. So that was quite a bit of work getting all that airline up. We pulled about 1,000 feet of Ethernet cable as well, in addition to running some electrical conduit. We put a lot of jacks in the walls. Pretty much everywhere that I put Ethernet in the wall, I went ahead and put 3 outlets. And you can see they're all labeled, so they correspond to labels on the patch panel. It's really nice to have things like my laser and my mill connected, because I can sit in the office, post their code out to them, and get all the jobs lined up, and then come out here and just run them. So that's been really nice. There's another roll-up door there. It makes it easy to get the forklift in and out. And then out front is where I've been parking, but I've got a slab out here that faces a street. So there's the workshop over there, and there's Osborne's Automotive Store there right by me. So it's really great to have good neighbors that are into similar things. I can just walk across the street, and like this morning I needed some dielectric grease, and pick it up right there from some local folks. So overall this has been going pretty well. Trying to think if there's any other improvements we had to do to the building. Oh yes, lighting. So these mercury vapor lights were what was in the building. There were 6 of them. 5 of them worked. The building was really pretty dim, and it took 2 20-amp circuits to run all of those. So I replaced them with the UFO lights. It just looks like a miniature sun here in the video, but the little flat LED lights. So these were about $150 each or so, but 6 of them really well illuminate the building, and they pull a total of about 4 or 5 amps for all of them. So big power savings, which is great because my power bill is going to go up now that I have servers running, the mill running, the air conditioner running, the compressor, the big compressor will be running soon. It's hooked up and it does run, but the air lines are not finished yet until we get the forklift fixed. So I'm still using the small compressor there with a lot of hose for a little bit extra capacity. So that's the first workshop update. As you can see, it's still a real work in progress, but we are getting product turned out, both milled parts. We haven't done any lathe parts yet, but we've turned out quite a few circuit boards since we got here. Went to Penn State and did a hydraulic servo control installation there. And then we're working on several jobs right now, including high pressure gas apparatus that's going to use these pressure intensifiers, and some fun tricks that we've come up with on how to do measurement of those. But that is all for another video. So thanks for joining me, and we'll see you next week.